right.
There's something sleek and beautiful about a simple A2 style iron-sighted build. No frills, but everything needed to get the job done. The less items you have to fall off the gun, for me the better. Simple, yet effective is the name of the game with this build. Today's build is built around an older retired DPMS stripped A2 upper that Recoil Gunworks had available a year or two ago. These rack-grade abused uppers allowed me to get nostalgic without breaking the bank. I found a good deal on an 11.5-inch Sons of Liberty Gunworks barrel that was F-marked with a .75 fixed front sight, pre-installed and properly pinned along with the delta ring and barrel nut assembly. This required a standard carbon length gas tube and roll pin to be installed, and we were cooking with fire. I love 11.5-inch barrels as they have plenty of dwell time and have a much gentler recoil impulse. After installing the barrel and gas tube to our stripped upper, I went looking in the parts bin for a handguard and muzzle device. I originally threw some oval takeoffs on, but didn't care much for how girthy it was, so I found some round handguards on CNN from Ruger and put them on there to give that slimmer retro look and feel. I found the round handguards to be easier to C-clamp with, and the Ruger guards are an inexpensive option for that. Just remember, if you use them, they are not insulated if you need those heat shields. For the muzzle device, I pulled out an old Battle Comp from the parts bin. The Battle Comp does a decent job of functioning as both a flash suppressor and a comp, so it makes the 11.5-inch gun that much softer shooting. The downside to the Battle Comp is it makes the gun a bit louder than a standard A2 at the shooter's ear. Every gun needs illumination, and I wanted to keep this build thin, so I sourced a Cleese Ion bayonet lug pick rail to use with a Surefire scout light. The Surefire used is the KE2DF, and it uses rechargeable batteries or CR123s and uses a simple push button to activate it. The light hangs in line with the barrel, and if the light is on, the warm spot is close enough that if it's on the target, the rounds are hitting at self-defense ranges for me. The BCG I used for this build was an AIM Surplus nickel boron bolt carrier I had sitting around. The bolt itself is from SAA, who is now called Montana AR-15. Their bolts have been reliable over the years, and they offer a great price point. The charging handle is of unknown origin, having been purchased at Idaho Guns from their random parts bin. So, with the upper completed, I went looking for a lower. Since I have lots of PSA lowers, I used one of those, and I'm pretty sure this one is running a standard EBT parts kit. I changed out the spring kit in it for the trigger to TacFire's 3.5-inch Lightning kit because it is a nice cheap kit which makes for a clean break when paired with the EBT. I put an Ambi Ergo grip on it since it's one of my favorite grips and it fits the hand well. I utilized a CAC Gen 1 Shockwave brace to keep with a simple older design. Pistols, of course, need a means of carry, so I put on an MS3 style sling to it so I can go from single point to 2-point carry, and installed some paracord attachment points front, rear, and via the buffer end plate. This gives me more options on how I sling the weapon depending on the amount of control I want for the gun as I carry it. So shooting the SOLGW barrel, I zeroed at 25 yards and then reconfirmed at the 100. It was hitting about an inch at the 25 and was on, all rounds were on a piece of paper at 100, which I consider good enough for something like this with iron sights and me behind the trigger. The gas system runs perfectly with steel and brass cased ammo, and the 1.7 barrel was able to stabilize the 50 to 75 grain bullets that I have shot through it in 223 and 5.56. Also, I've put about a couple thousand rounds of 32 to 40 grain 22 long rifle through it, utilizing CMMG's 22 drop-in bolt, and still seeing the barrel still seems to stabilize bullets enough at 25 yards to be effective for training. Overall, I'm impressed by the barrel quality from Sons of Liberty, and I appreciate the simplicity of this pre-drilled and tapped FSP combo that Primary Arms had available. Thanks for watching, and I hope you will check out some of our other videos. Thanks, y'all.